What's up, pretty gang? It's your favorite nail tech Peaches, back with another video. And y'all, I'm sorry I have been gone. I have been recovering from a severe asthma attack, but let's jump into it. So this client had already previously come to me with damaged toenails, but unfortunately she's back and the damage is worse. I do want to point out that this clip is from like 2 years ago. I happened to just find on my phone. Now when she came back and she did tell me that she was hurt even more, I instantly saw a horizontal line of demarcation where I'm like, uh-oh, this toenail is gonna go. So I'm gonna play a clip for you guys really quickly of me explaining what I think this is and what we should do about it. Okay, so now more that acrylic is out of the way. Yeah, so this part here is kind of white there. I can't tell you exactly what that's gonna mean, okay, for that part. It is growing out. However, there is like a horizontal indent here where, like, that's pretty much where you can see from side to side, like from here to here. It does want to snap there because it's like not really connected. Honestly, no, because I'd have to just rebuild this right, like I'd have to rebuild it right back up. So like if I just replace what's here and, like, you know, because now this is so thin that I'm just gonna like layer onto what's already sculpted versus like starting complete over. So now you can see it kind of wiggles a little further up as well. Like, where do you feel this out? Like, what does this feel like up here when I wiggle this around? Does it feel like anything?
Well, like in the middle.
Yeah. So I keep this information and show this to you guys to show that it is absolutely important to talk to your clients. You cannot just willy-nilly cut and hack things away. So what I decided was to go ahead and continue on with the pedicure so I can further examine, but it is very clear to me that the toenail has become pretty thinner than it already was, and whatever additional injury she has suffered in the time away, y'all, this toenail is going to snap off. Now I can tell that it's around the area of like maybe where you would do the fill, like something obviously got snagged or caught and it probably just bent the toenail backwards a little bit, but you guys can see there are chunks and pieces missing. Now I'm not in the business of making people uncomfortable or making too many drastic decisions if I don't have to. So what you guys didn't hear is, after me saying that, you know, we kind of need to look and see what's going on, I did let her know we're gonna go ahead and do the fill for this time, but you absolutely need to get a full soak off the next time. I believe this time was supposed to be a full soak off. However, upon what I saw, I just did not think that it was the smartest thing to do, especially because she would not have been prepared to move forward without the toenail. Now, unfortunately, I don't believe I saw this client after this, if too many times at all. You know, sometimes it does happen. People take my advice for a little bit and then things happen and they don't come back, but that's quite okay. Now this footage is from like 2 years ago, so I am not exactly sure even how her foot got this way or her toenail got this way, but I do know that it was due to previous injury that she is trying to grow out. So it's super unfortunate when this happens, like people get injured and they're already growing back an injury. I honestly hate to see it, but both of her toenails were injured in this particular way. Now the other toenail is doing perfectly fine. It's just this one that pretty much has to go. So what I would have done, or what I did do if she did come back, is fully soak off the acrylic and then just probably go ahead and cut the toenails wherever they need to be cut, which in this case would probably be just slightly more than halfway, which is unfortunate because, again, this is the length of her toenails for the most part, but you know, the setback would have had to happen. Now for a fill, you guys know the process. We are going to file the cuticle area, remove the dead skin. We are going to use primer, and then we are going to use clear acrylic to fill this in. Now I highly suggest that if you are thinking about doing toenails, or if you're in the business of already doing toenails, fills should be something that you offer, because how will you know what your work looks like if people cannot come back to get it fixed? You know, how are we going to be able to keep up with the services that we're giving clients if we don't do fills and removals? I do want to just let y'all know, while you guys are watching the fill, I had a client recently. If you didn't watch my last video, you should definitely go and check it out. I had a client recently that the person that she was going to did offer fills. However, she was not offering the full maintenance that comes with the fill, which means appropriately balancing the toenails and making sure that they are shortened, or whatever it is, so that the client can go on comfortably. You guys, if your clients are not able to wear your enhancements comfortably for long term, you are not doing it correctly. Okay, you guys, I'm so sorry I sound horrible. I'm still recovering from the asthma attack. I'm not all the way 100%, but we need to understand that as much as in the past people were screaming and yelling from the rooftops that being licensed doesn't matter, and it's just doing nails, you guys, it's not. Because I'm seeing so many people out there suffer from damage, suffer from being played on by people who don't actually know what they're doing. Guys, there are rules and regulations to things like this. There are things we can and can't do as nail techs. There are things that only a podiatrist or a doctor can do that we cannot do. Even things that you would think that, oh, nail salons do it all the time. No, ma'am. Just because they do it does not mean that's the right thing to do. So hear me when I say offering these types of services takes an amount of patience and kindness and skill and knowledge. That you cannot go and watch other people's videos and think that now you have everything that you need to know to be doing reconstructions and to be doing toenails like this. I get bashed online all the time because people are telling me that I'm hurting people and I'm harming people, which is crazy because there are quite a lot of nail techs out there that are doing it, and I'm the one that has to usually go behind them and help clients with the problems. You know what I'm saying? So if you decide that this is something that you want to do, I would really hope that you've gone to school. And although this is not a skill that they teach in school, you can use the skills that you learned about health and safety and the rules and regulations. You can use your experience with doing nails to cross over. This is something that is learned, but there are things behind the scenes that definitely give you that knowledge to be confident and to understand what's going on. Okay, so now that that's out of the way, you guys can see that this toenail on this side is really not that bad. Like, there's no additional injury. Everything else is growing out. Now, I believe at this point I had only seen this client maybe like once or twice, like at most. So this would make either the second or third time. And I'm not too what is that called? Okay, we're just gonna scratch that train of thought, y'all. I can't think. But in doing this is kind of what made me realize, like, okay, is this person a good candidate for acrylic? What, like, this is where I have an internal monologue with myself when I'm working with clients, so that way I can understand what advice that I want to give to them. So of course, in this case, I would be explaining to her like, hey, this toenail isn't looking bad at all, or hey, in comparison, blah blah blah. There's dialogue that should be had throughout the appointment, especially when you're working with people who have damage or people who have had bad experiences before. It does take a certain amount of customer service to allow people to be comfortable enough with you, so that way you're able to do your job appropriately. Now you may be wondering, like, Peaches girl, what type of injury can cause your toenails to look like this? Because I know someone's going to say it's a fungal infection, but you guys, it's not. I do not work over fungus or fungal infections, period. So anything you see on my channel, doesn't matter what someone else says, is not. Okay, now types of injuries that can cause toenails to grow like this, right? Because essentially a good portion of it is like dead or permanently damaged. Y'all, dropping things on your feet, that is like the number one cause of injuries that could cause your toenails to look extremely discolored and grow separated from the nail bed. All right, another one would be wearing shoes and boots that are too small. You would not believe how much people don't realize the damage that steel-toed boots can do. I have seen on more than one occasion people get injured from wearing steel-toed boots, okay, with or without acrylic toes, but usually if you have a job that requires steel-toed boots, All right, acrylic toes may not be a great fit for you because you know what happens is there is no wiggle room in those type of boots. So as your toenails get longer, and if you are or not staying up on your maintenance, you're essentially squeezing your foot and your nails inside of the most rigid shoe that you could possibly ever wear. And it's not like you're going a size up. And if you're wearing steel-toed boots, it's likely that you have a job where you're on your feet. So all of that squeezing and tension is just hitting the top of the toenail so much that eventually it damages you. And a lot of people don't realize that that's a thing, but it is a thing. Also, wearing shoes that are just simply too tight, okay, even that can cause damage where your toenail can separate from the nail plate, or you can get bruising or anything like that. So when you see these type of bruise patterns, ask people, now baby girl, what do you do for work? Oh, okay, I see. And are those, you know, activities that you're doing causing you to have to wear certain type of footwear? Okay, are you wearing the right size footwear? And honestly, a lot of people will wear the wrong size footwear even if they know that's not their exact size. They'll say, oh, it fits comfortably. And if it fits the exact size without acrylic toes, then you have no business getting acrylic toes. And that's us as providers and you know, people who have the knowledge to tell these people you are or not a good candidate. Okay, so look, the end result may not be the best for this particular client. However, it's gonna get her through until we can do an actual soak off, and now that she will be prepared to pretty much get rid of that toenail and have half a toenail. Now at that point, she can get a reconstruction, but at this point in time, like I was telling her previously, there's no way that I'm gonna soak you all the way down and start from scratch, because if I do that, you need to be prepared to not have a toenail. So as you guys can see, it's pretty sturdy at the moment, and nothing's gonna go wrong with it as long as you come back within the time that the nail tech tells you to come back. Okay, now I would have loved to be able to reassure her that, you know, everything was going to be exactly perfectly and grow fine, but you guys, we cannot do that, especially people who have previous injury, and an injury severe enough that has caused part of the toenail to be completely ineffective. Okay, we have to speak with facts and realism and let our clients know, hey, while I think the best case scenario will be X, Y, and Z, you do need to prepare for the fact that the worst case scenario, you know, Z, Y, X can also happen. Because if you do not prepare them for all the scenarios that could possibly happen, they're gonna get scared and they may not come back. Now, as you guys can see, the discoloration is all the previous damage that she had endured. Now that white spot on the bottom, that's what I was talking about in the previous clip. That's what I was concerned about on why what was I gonna say? Yeah, that white spot I was concerned about because she did get injured again, and I was telling her, I don't know if you guys heard this in the clips either, but we need to see how it's gonna grow out a few times. So before I even would do a reconstruction or anything, I did tell her, you're gonna need to wait a couple of months to see, because I can't guarantee you what that white is. I don't know if that part of the toenail would also have severe permanent damage or what, you know what I'm saying? So when we see things that look a little irregular or abnormal, especially when we're dealing with those that have injuries, and then on top of an old injury we're dealing with a new injury, it's just important that you keep them informed and give them your best guess, because all in all, I cannot diagnose anyone with anything. I'm not a podiatrist. I don't know everything, but I know enough that when I see some irregularities and I understand how damage works, and I can see certain stuff on the nail plate that can make me feel a little uneasy about how it is moving forward. So at this time I did tell her, like, the next time we need a complete soak off, and we're gonna have to just let it grow and see what happens. So again, this is not currently a client of mine. These clips were a couple years old, so I do hope that she's doing well. Most definitely, I hope that she's doing well and that she's recovered however she needs to recover. And I hope that this video gives you guys another opportunity to see the type of work that I do, and maybe help those that are struggling on how to talk to clients or how to even work over damage if you see yourself fit as doing so. And of course, I will see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to comment, subscribe, and share this with somebody who you feel like could benefit. See you guys in the next video.